Alright boys, what's happening? And welcome back to another episode of my team here on the channel. Today we have the Canadian Grand Prix. If you did miss the last episode, go and check that episode out before you watch this one. It's an absolute belter episode, our best race of the whole 2 seasons so far as a team. Last year we did finish P3 in Canada, our first podium as a team. A bit of a fluky one if you ask me. I think the difficulty was just a bit too low back at the start of season 1. But I am very quick around Canada. You know, I mean, even though we had a really bad car last year, it's only the 5th race into the season, isn't it? But even though we had a bad car, I've still got pace around Canada. You can see there on the screen right now, we have the 4th best car on the grid at the moment. And once these upgrades come through that we've got going, it looks like we might actually go to the 2nd best car on the grid, overtaking both Ferrari and Mercedes. So we've got to wait for those upgrades to come through first. But none of them will be here in time for the Canada Grand Prix. We're about to get into that in a moment. We're just picking up an ERS upgrade on the engine there, and now we go straight into qualifying at a very wet looking Canada. Canada's always one of those tracks that it seems to rain at for me, whether that be in qualifying or the race. I swear every time I come to Canada it's always raining. So we're going to start off qualifying in the rain. Let's see, is it wet or is it intermediate conditions? It's going to be inters, it's not fully wet right now. So we have set a time already, which puts us in P9. We set a 118.89. Quite slow. This is going to be our last lap, I do believe, of the qualifying session, with just 2 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock. Down to 3rd gear for turn 1, 2nd gear for turn 2. Missed the apex a little, run a bit wide through turn 2 there, and we're very slow on the exit there, if it looked like anyway visually, but we're 2 tenths up on our previous lap somehow. So we're now 4 tenths up coming down the downhill section. You can carry so much speed through that downhill section. It's boss. Purple in sector 1 there, fastest out of anyone on the grid. If you don't know what purple means in the sectors, if red means you've not improved on your last lap, green means you have improved on your last lap and it's a personal best, and purple means it's the best time out of the whole grid. So we are still 4 tenths up on that previous lap, as you can see, and now we have George Russell in front of us as we head towards the hairpin. So we're going to get a nice little tow from George Russell as we head down this long straight now towards the chicane. So you can see with 3.5 tenths up, we're losing time actually down the straight compared to the last lap. We must have got a better exit on the hairpin. Last lap we've lost nearly a whole tenth there, but as we come through the chicane, we're right behind George. Get a nice exit out of the chicane, little tow across the line, and we're going to be 7 tenths faster and set a 118.1, which puts us in P2 currently, but Pierre Gasly 3 tenths faster than us in P1 there, so we know there's going to be a bit of a gap between us and the rest of the cars who are currently on flying laps. And look at that, boys. Antonio Giovinazzi, Nikita Mazepin, Daniel Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher as the top 4, because they've gone out on soft tyres. Everyone else stayed out on the inters. Dan Ticktum qualifying dead last there. Who would have thought it? Absolute fat-headed loser. Nico Rosberg down in P14. Giovinazzi, Mazepin and Schumacher getting through to Q2 because they've qualified on the softs in Q1. Absolutely mad. I was going to say there's been an upset in the bottom 5, but there actually wasn't really. But yeah, it just shows you know, how much strategy can come into play here. Like, obviously the engineers sent me out on intermediate tyres. I didn't even get told, like, oh yeah, it might be time for softs. But for Q2 this is now, you see we've set a 109.4 and it's now sunny. Like, there's no sign of rain anywhere on the track. It is very sunny, and we are on the soft tyres, and we're absolutely flying. Another purple sector in sector 1 there. We're going to be 5 tenths quicker than our previous lap. Currently in P13, which obviously is not good enough to make it through to Q3. I've had problems this year really getting the car working in quali. Our qualifying pace just hasn't really been there. Little snap of oversteer on the exit to the chicane. Yeah, our qualifying pace hasn't really been there, boys. From the start of the season in Bahrain, like, I just haven't been able to click with the car yet and get the car working in quali. Our race pace is serious though. Like, we have serious race pace, but when it comes to quali, I don't know what it is. I just can't really seem to put a lap together. But this one's looking good so far. We're going to be 5 tenths quicker through the chicane at the end. We've lost a few hundredths there of a second. Take the shortest run to the line, across the line. It's a 108.9, and that puts us in P6 now, boys. We could have gone again, but I decided not to because I wanted to save these tyres because obviously you've got to start the race on the tyres that you qualify on in Q2, and in playing it safe and doing so, we get knocked out in Q2, boys. P13 we're going to be just behind Nico Rosberg in P12, our teammate. So Nico is out qualified us there, and yeah, we've been knocked out of qualifying, boys. Even though we have the 4th fastest car on the grid, you know, we're going to be knocked out. Let's see if we can improve in the race.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles an hour here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions. And watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and the final chicane. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. And it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bottas, Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton and Sainz, Ricciardo, Norris, Gasly and Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Rosberg, the owner driver and Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll, Ocon, Latifi, Russell and Daniel Ticktum. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Okay, boys, P13 is going to be on the grid. Nico Rosberg just in front of us there. I think it's P13. I don't even know. Anyway, there's our strategy on the screen. Start on the mediums, go into the mediums, then into the softs later on in the stint. Hopefully when the car burns off a lot of fuel, a bit lighter, we bump up the front wing by 1 there to give us a bit more downforce. And we wait for the lights to count down the 2 Red Bulls on the front row there. It is lights out and away we go. It is P13. Nico Rosberg and P12 off to a flying start already, going around the outside of Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda sends it up the inside, making a double overtake on Alonso and Norris there round the inside of turn 1. He's going around the outside of turn 2. We're going around the outside of Nico Rosberg, and we've made a place to Nico Rosberg. A little bit of contact with Mick Schumacher through turn 1 as well. And we go around the outside of Fernando Alonso there, making up yet another place off the start. And Yuki Tsunoda now and Lando Norris are battling in front of us. Can we catch up to these guys here and make a pass on Yuki? We should be faster than Yuki Tsunoda. And we send it down the inside on the hairpin. Make up another place. We're up into P10, back into the points already, boys, from P13 on the grid. Nico Rosberg, our teammate, still down in P13 now. He had a flying start off the line, but he just hasn't been able to improve on that throughout the lap. Now we have the 2 McLarens in front of us, and we should have a faster car than the McLarens according to the vehicle comparison chart. So hopefully we can stick with these McLarens. Obviously everyone in the top 10 is on soft tyres. I believe Max Verstappen though is on the mediums possibly, but I think he did qualify in Q2 on the mediums. Not too sure on that one, but we're on the medium tyres, that's a fact. Everyone in front of us, at least immediately in front of us, is on the soft tyres, so they're going to be a little bit quicker. So hopefully we can just stick within the DRS range of Lando Norris here. So when DRS gets turned on at the end of lap 2, we can go ahead and get DRS and not get left behind, you know, because if everyone gets DRS and we don't have it, the top 10 will really separate themselves from the rest of the pack. We run a bit wide on the chicane there, but there's going to be a yellow flag in front of us, or it might be behind us actually. Already on lap 2 here, we've got a yellow flag. Surely this can't be someone's engine gone. on lap 2. Let's see, this is Yuki Tsunoda, and he's just dropped it coming around the chicane. Big shunt into the wall there. He's probably caused some rear wing damage to his car. Will not be surprised if he retires there, but you can see now we are chasing down Lando Norris. We're right on his gearbox. A bit of contact there because of how slow Lando was going through that corner. So we head through the chicane now, heading towards the hairpin. Are we going to look to make a move on Lando? We look a little far back. Can we make a move on Lando into the hairpin? We're going to send it from way downtown. Managed to get the car slowed down in time so we don't go into the back of Ricciardo. Avoid the lock up there. As well, you see how late we turned. We'll see that a replay of that right now. You can see how late we actually turn into the corner. Because I really didn't want to risk a lock up there. If we locked up, we would have went straight into the back of Daniel Ricciardo, and that probably would have been our race over because he would have needed a new front wing. But we make the pass on Lando there up into P9. Now we're chasing down Danny Rick. The cars in front of us, you can see from this angle, there seems to be a good 5 cars in a train in front of us, so people aren't pulling away just yet. Obviously, it's our first lap with DRS on. This is now our second lap with DRS. We sent it down the inside of the chicane on Daniel Ricciardo there. Weird place to overtake on this track. That's the first time I've ever gone for an overtake there. And we actually cut the corner on the chicane again. That's the second time we've done that in 4 laps. But the FIA haven't warned us about it. So I don't know if there's a glitch in the game where you can just cut that corner completely or what. Or maybe it's because I was joining the track straight away again and I wasn't running too far wide off that corner. But I thought I would have got a warning for corner cutting or track limits, but I guess not. Now we're chasing down Pierre Gasly, and coming out of the chicane, you can see we are a lot faster than Pierre, and the closing speed of this Ferrari power unit in this car is just outrageous, boys. We go purple in sector 3, and we've caught Gasly coming through turn 2 there. Turn 2, we seem to look very slowly. I don't know if you can notice that or if that's just me, but it looks so slow as we come through turn 2. Exceed track limits there just about by a fraction of a hair, but you can see just how fast we are compared to Pierre. We're going to get DRS on this little straight now. Can we pass Pierre before the chicane? I hate trying to overtake people into this chicane. Pierre comes across the defend. We're going to go around the outside this time. We went around the inside of Daniel, but we go around the outside of Pierre. Very nice and easy move there to overtake Pierre. We're up into P7, boys. What a race so far. Up from P13 into P7. Could this be a driver of the day potential race? We now have 4 cars in front of us. It looks like somebody is slow at the front of this pack. It's Charles Leclerc, then Valtteri Bottas, then Carlos Sainz, and then Lewis Hamilton. And we're going to look at the closing speed of this this Ferrari power unit, boys. We have a little look up the inside of Lewis there, but the door was closed before it even opened, really. But just look how fast we are. I know we've got DRS and a slipstream, but we are just so much faster than this Mercedes unit this year. We made a really good choice going with this Ferrari unit. As you can see, Sainz and Leclerc battling with the with the Mercedes, sorry. Last season, they were nowhere near them. So this Ferrari power unit has really stepped up its game this year in Season 2 of our career mode. Another little snap of oversteer. Keep getting little snaps of oversteer there as we have another look up the inside of Lewis, but it's to no prevail, Lewis is not a guy I want to risk sending it down the inside on, because he will just turn in on us. Into the chicane now. We know now, that our best opportunity to overtake, if I can get my words out, is going to be on this straight, as Jeff sends us a new strategy, but we're going to ignore it. I'm the strategy guy, Jeff. You just sit there and be quiet, mate, Anyway, like I say, this is going to be our best opportunity to try and make a pass on Lewis. He's a bit far ahead, 5 tenths ahead, but we're going to use our battery ERS power. We're going to have DRS and a big slipstream coming down this straight into the chicane. We can't get him again on the chicane, but on the exit we have a great exit. Lewis has a little slide there on the exit, and can we get Lewis down into turn 1? You see now we're going to send it from downtown up the inside of Lewis, and he gives us space. Great driving from Lewis. We're going to be wheel to wheel coming through turn 2. Who's going to have the better traction? It's going to be us on the outside, and we make it past Lewis Hamilton up into P6, but Lewis is still there as we go into the downhill section, and now we managed to make the pass completely, and Lewis backs out as we come downhill because there was probably going to be a bit of contact there trying to send 2 people down that corner. Now towards the end of lap 8, we have a yellow flag in front of us coming around the hairpin. Now we've caught up to Sainz, Bottas and Leclerc, and it's going to be Sergio Perez out of the session, boys. So now we're up into P5. Another DNF from a Red Bull, gaining us a place in a race. If you didn't see last week's race, last week, it's not real life. If you didn't see Monday's race episode, obviously Max Verstappen retired from the race, which gained us a place in the race. We set the fastest lap of the race there on lap 10. All the soft runners in front of us have now boxed. We're on, of course, the mediums, which are quite battered, to be fair, because of all the overtaking with that we've been doing. We've pushed non-stop from lap 1. We're going to pit here on lap 13. Lost a bit of time to Verstappen. I was going to stay out for another lap, but I was looking at the delta between us and Max, and Verstappen was gaining on us by like 5/10 on that one lap. So I was like, if we're doing another lap, he's probably going to gain another 5/10 or a whole second. So we go ahead and pit there. Let's see where we come out of the pits. We're going to approach turn 2 with Charles Leclerc just in front of us. We're going to be P4 after our first pit stop, boys. I believe we've gained a place there. I think we got P5 before we did come into the pits. Carlos Sainz going onto the hard tyres there. Maybe he's running a one-stop strategy, Sainz. I'm sure he was on the mediums to start. In fact, no, Sainz was on the softs. So Sainz has gone soft hard. And I didn't even know you could run a one-stop around here. But now Nico Rosberg has pit our teammates, which gained us a place. We're going to send it down the inside of Leclerc. Nice little easy overtake on the straight there. We're up into P2, purple sector 1. And of course we cross the line there and set a new fastest lap of the race yet again at 10.5. And now we have caught Max Verstappen, boys, who was 2.4 seconds ahead, I think. And now we've brought it down by setting another fastest lap. We've brought that gap down from 2.4 seconds to 5/10. So absolutely incredible pace from us. Like I mentioned, I am very quick around Canada. This is probably my fastest track on the calendar year, and now we're battling with Verstappen with DRS into the chicane. We're going to make an easy pass on Max Verstappen there, and we are into P1, boys. Now bear in mind we do have another pit stop left, but I do believe everyone behind us has another pit stop left, and our pit stop is going to be onto the softs. Everyone else is going to be onto another set of mediums. Now you can see now everyone else has pit. We're looking at the split time between us and Max, and it's 17 seconds, something like that. So I was keeping an eye on that split time, boys, between us and Max, and I've stayed out for another lap. And I was just going to see, can we increase this stint, because I want to have the shortest stint possible for the soft tyres so we don't kill them. But a lap later, you see that gap went from 17 seconds to 16, so we lost a whole second on that lap there to Max Verstappen. So I was like, yeah, if we stay out another lap, we're going to kill ourselves. Let's get into the box and get these soft tyres on. Obviously, like I said, we're running that reverse strategy, the two mediums into softs, whereas everyone else went soft, medium, medium. So we're going to come out on the soft tyres. Let's see where we do come out as Verstappen heads into turn 1. Now round into turn 2. Are we going to come out ahead of Max Verstappen? Yes, we are, boys. We've got the overcut perfectly there. Max Verstappen 1 second behind us. And now for the first time ever, we see blue flags. But it's actually us overtaking the people getting blue flagged. Obviously, we've been blue flagged twice in Monaco in both seasons, but now we're actually overtaking someone on blue flags for the first time. But we are into P1 after the pit stop strategy, and we're on the soft tyres, faster than the mediums, of course. Lap 27 here, Max has brought it down to like 9-10, so I'm trying to increase that gap to Max so he doesn't have DRS for that back straight, because that's, like I say, the easiest overtaking opportunity in Canada. As we lap Dan Ticktum, what a sight that is. If it wasn't for this guy, if it wasn't for us, this guy would not be in the Formula 1 right now. So he owes his career to us. So he gets us nicely out the way there as we approach Nikita Mazepin now, the other stinker in the Haas car, into the hairpin. And Max is 1.1 seconds behind us as we cross the DRS detection zone line there at the exit to the hairpin. So Max is not going to have DRS. And we set another fastest lap at 109.4. Absolutely outrageous pace. Look at that. Green sector 1, purple sector 2, purple sector 3. Boys, we're absolutely flying. Nico comes into the pits. I don't know why. Why did Nico pit there? Was that his second stop of the race? I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. Oh, yeah, it was, because Nico was on the medium soft like us. So Nico was in P4. He's probably going to be down to P7 or 8 now, because he has boxed again. Lap 30 of 35. Boys, can we go for back-to-back wins here? It's looking very possible, as long as nothing crazy happens before now and the end of the race in these 4 laps. Lap 32 of 35, we head towards the hairpin now. This is going to be towards, obviously, the end of lap 32. So there's only going to be 3 laps left of the race, and Verstappen is 3.7 seconds behind us, boys. This is looking like back-to-back wins, but Nicholas Latifi is out of the session, and he brings out a full course safety car. Let's see what this idiot's done. Let's see what this idiot's done to bring out a safety car. Into the chicane, floors it, and flies his car into the wall. What an absolute buffoon. Let's see a replay of that again. Into the chicane now, and oh boys, look at that. He's took off his back wheel, his rear left is off the car, and his front wing goes flying across the track. This guy is such a loser, bro, and he's brought out the full course safety car. So that 3.7 second gap to Max Verstappen is going to get cut right down. But look, boys, it is the Aston Martin safety car. Our first time seeing the new Aston Martin safety car, and doesn't it look quite sexy? Like, it is a very nice looking car. Look at that. We've got some little slow-mo replays there of the safety car, just to have a look at it, because, you know, I think it's a very cool looking car. And of course, they added the Aston Martin safety car to the certain tracks on the calendar that use the Aston Martin safety car. And it does look very nice. It's a very nice shot there. That'll probably be the thumbnail, that one there, with us and Max behind it. But I thought the safety car was going to, like, we were going to finish the race behind the safety car, but it was only out for one lap. So I think this is our first ever time controlling the pace of the pack behind the safety car, obviously being in P1. So down the home straight now, we are just weaving side to side, trying to get some heat into those tyres. You see, we're on the low 80 degrees, like The Weeknd in that song, 80 degrees, Hurricane, streamed on there on all platforms. Anyway, we absolutely floored it. We do have the chicane at the end here, so I wanted to floor it and get a good exit on the chicane, like you can see there, and we get the jump on Max Verstappen. I absolutely love setting the pace at the front of a safety car, because I love having that control and that power to get the jump on the other cars. And you see, we've made a 6 second or a 6/10 gap to Verstappen by getting that jump, while everyone else was like waiting to see when we would go and stuff. But boys, it is the final lap of the race. Verstappen 7/10 behind now as we head through the hairpin. Managed to keep it out the wall there. I had to come off the throttle completely and just wait for the car to get rotated there. That was very slow. We went a bit deep on the brakes, nearly went into the wall. But 7/10 behind us. Max is going to have DRS down this home straight, but the straight's just not going to be long enough, boys. As we go through the chicane, we're going to cross the line, boys. It's going to be back-to-back wins for the team. Absolutely massive, boys. We cross the line. It's confirmed. Back-to-back wins. What an absolute sick race that is from us.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
Who would have thought it, boys? Who would have thought it? Now, good things seem to come in twos for us. It's driver of the day. What a perfect race, by the way, can I just say? Race win, fastest lap of the race, and driver of the day. That's a three-peat. That is just, you know, it can't get much better than that. But yeah, good things seem to come in twos. Last season, if you do remember, our second podium of the team was in Mexico. We came P2. Then the race after that in Brazil, we came P2. So we've got a win in Baku, and we have a back-to-back win here in Canada. Probably my two favourite tracks on the calendar, so to get a race win in both of those tracks, it's absolutely massive. It's going to be massive points for the team, 26 points just for me, and we'll see where Nico finished in just a moment. We're going to be P1, Max P2, and Charles Leclerc in P3, so the Mercedes were nowhere to be seen. We're still yet to see us and Nico on a podium. Nico still is yet to be on a podium, I'm pretty sure. Nico, obviously, got that P4 finish in Bahrain, first race of the season, but his luck since then hasn't been great. His race pace in qualifying hasn't been the best, let's be honest, but it's a long race. It's a marathon, not a sprint in it, so hopefully Nico can improve towards the end of the season. But he's had a solid race today, you know, qualifying in P12. He's up to P7 there, bringing home 6 points for the team. It's going to be 32 points on the day for the Sasuke Racing team, so that's going to be absolutely massive in the standings. We're doing so much better this season than I did anticipate. Look at our fastest lap there. It's just so fast, even compared to Max's. At 109.4 we set. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, you can see the Sergio Perez and Latifi obviously DNFing. Dan Ticktum coming dead last yet again. That's like the 5th race in a row. Absolute loser. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton dropping to P8 finally at the end of the race. Pierre Gasly up into P5. Let's check out the standings, boys. We are up personally into P2 in the driver standings, overtaking Pierre Gasly. Gasly still in P3 though, and Sasuke Racing as a team. We are P2 in the Constructors' Championship, 3 points behind Ferrari. So it's going to be tight between us and Ferrari this season. We obviously have the best power unit, that Ferrari unit. It was a good job we did go with that one. It seems to be working out for us and of course for Ferrari, so it's not just us. It seems to be a very good unit, but who knows if Mercedes get a supplier upgrade towards the end of the season, which makes them the best engine, you know. We have 4 mil in the bank, so we go ahead and pick up this racecraft upgrade. Racecraft awareness and focus stat will be improved on Nico Rosberg. Like I mentioned, obviously Nico, his focus was down after that DNF in Baku, so we go ahead and boost his focus there with that upgrade. And like I mentioned in the last episode as well, boys, it's all money in with the personnel department. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really want Nico to do well for the team, and obviously the personnel stuff stays whatever teammate he gets. So even if we replace Nico at the end of the season, because I will keep Nico for the whole of this season, boys, I don't want to switch him halfway through unless something really bad happens and he has like just a few stinker of a race before the contract negotiation period. But yeah, I do want to stick with Nico till the end of the season. But like I say, upgrading our personnel department, you can't go wrong with it, because even if we get someone else in, they'll still feel the benefits of the boosts. We do need to get a pace upgrade on Nico though next, because his race pace, his race pace is fine, but his qualifying pace, I mean, just doesn't seem to be up there. But neither does ours, so maybe it's just the car. Like I say, like even my qualifying performance, I can't get the car going in quali, and I don't know really what to put that down to. We go ahead and rush this upgrade here for the front downforce, because I did want to get that downforce upgrade before Silverstone. You can see Nico on the screen for Silverstone is going to be 96 rated, boys. He's going to have 100 experience, 99 racecraft, 100 awareness, and 93 pace. Quick maths. So yeah, hopefully Nico can have a good performance in France at the Circuit Paul Ricard. I am quite good at France as well. I do like this track. It's a very fun circuit for me to drive, I do think. There's no walls like Monaco that you can crash into. It's very open if you run wide. It's very unforgiving, do you know what I mean? So, next episode, it'll be out on Friday. If you did enjoy this one, like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibes. Let me know what you think. Back-to-back wins. Yeah, come on. Anyway, I will catch us next time. Take it easy.